Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com for life coaching and mentoring. Let's talk about the Israeli-Palestine conflict. I just want to check up with some of you guys and see how people are doing. Not everybody's going to need this video. In fact, most of you won't. So I suggest that most of you who are apathetic to this issue to just stop watching. Go watch another video. Go check something else out. This isn't for you. This is just for people who are still somewhat angry, still somewhat afraid, still experiencing some emotions around this. I know I still am. I'm incredibly angry. Absolutely. My anger has really been a problem for me over the last month. And I typically stay on top of my anger pretty well. I've had to go real hard with my mind, body, and soul program in order to stay disciplined, to stay just on top of my sanity. Because if I let my anger get into too much control, I start to go insane. I start to go crazy. And I remember what that's like. I know what it's like to live in a world of anger just permanently, forever. That was my world, and I broke out of that miraculously. And it's a little triggering. It makes me nervous when I walk the edge of that abyss, because anger is absolutely an abyss. There's no bottom to it. There's no, okay, this is as angry as I can get. You can always get angrier. It's endless. And it's not productive. It doesn't help me. It ruins my appetite. That's the first thing to go a lot when I get really angry and I'm just holding on to anger. I notice my appetite goes. I stop eating. And then I particularly stop eating healthy. It takes a lot of energy for me to force myself to eat healthy. I know what it's like to be overweight. I know what it's like to be overweight and to eat bad meals and to not feel like you can control it. You get in this cycle of just eating like shit. You feel bad about it. You're eating like shit and you feel bad about eating, and it's a terrible place to be. So my nutrition is important to me, and I need to have a positive mental attitude. I need to have my PMA in order to stay on my nutritional path, or else I'll go and eat McDonald's just because I start to convince myself, oh, I haven't eaten in 6 hours, I desperately need calories and something, or let me just get a burger. Emotional distress can send us there. So I've had to limit how much I absorb the news over the last week. I'm not doom scrolling as much as I was. I'm not watching as many videos as much as I was. A couple weeks ago, this was 2 weeks ago, I found a channel. It was the IDF channel, military channel, when they post just these dry videos, unedited, just videos of interrogations of Hamas captured soldiers. And those interrogations were rather shocking. Don't watch them. I'm telling you, don't watch them. You're not going to enjoy it. I watched all of them. I've had to stop some of this obsession with the battle because I can't do anything. I'm helpless. And I've been in this position before where I've hit a brick wall. I can't do anything. I'm helpless to fight this situation. Have you ever been in a situation where you can't fight? If you can fight, if you can take action, then do it. Take action. I'm all about action. You do coaching with me, you'll know. I encourage action. But if you can't do anything, if you're literally powerless in the situation, you have to change course. You have to change direction. You have to switch out of that mindset. You have to switch your outlook. You have to change your outlook. So that's what I've had to do over this last week, is to kind of separate myself from the Israeli-Hamas conflict a little bit so I can stay on my path. You may need to do that also. Tell me how you guys are handling some of this. We had a riot last night in Washington, D.C. I have family in D.C. Thank God I don't live there. I'm lucky that I live in a small town by the beach in the middle of nowhere, and we don't have politics here. Nobody's protesting for or against anything in my town. But I see this stuff happening, and I'm a little sensitive towards riots in the streets of DC because I got family that live just blocks away from that shit. And it became violent. If you notice, every single one of these Hamas rallies is now turning violent. They had a pro-Israel rally. Did you know that? You didn't know that. A lot of the media coverage has not mentioned it. They had a pro-Israel rally in Washington, D.C. 400,000, 600,000 people showed up. Barely a mention. The Hamas rallies get covered. If 10 people show up on a street corner with Hamas signs, it gets covered. And they're always violent. So that's concerning, this continual coverage of Americans, American citizens, who are not just anti-Semitic. You're allowed to be anti-Semitic. But they're pro-terrorist. There's Americans that are captured being held hostage in those tunnels. There were Americans that were killed on October 7th. Nobody seems to care about the Americans that were captured. When Americans get captured, we need to save our people. I talked yesterday about loyalty. Are you guys not loyal to your own people? This should outrage, that alone, right there, the fact that there's American hostages right now, that should outrage every American. We should have our Navy SEALs laced up and ready to fucking pop heads off and get our guys back at any cost. I thought it was amusing that this is such a contentious topic that it's separating a lot of friends, groups, political organizations. The Democrats are being separated from this. The riot that happened last night out in front of the DNC headquarters in Capitol Hill. So it's the Democratic headquarters in Capitol Hill. The people outside are all progressive lefties, radical extremists. They're all on the left. That's their battle. Their party, the left, the Democrat Party is literally being ripped apart because of this issue right now. Maybe it needs to be. Maybe we needed a polarizing issue like this to show us, to reveal the backstabbers, reveal the people that are evil in our midst. But the Republicans are going at it too. There's a lot of Republicans, conservatives, who don't understand the issue, that have latched on to a liberal lie of occupation, as if Israel, the Jews, are occupying land that somehow used to belong to someone else. That's a lie. If you believe that, you believed a lie. Ben Shapiro has been absolutely excellent over the last week or two, talking about this issue and giving the history to it. If you want to know the history to it, go look at Ben Shapiro's broadcast. He has a whole 45-minute broadcast where all he does is lay out the history. It's absolutely true. I don't care what you think of Ben Shapiro. He could be annoying, but the history that he gives is the history. That's the history. Thank God for the internet. It used to be when Noam Chomsky or Amy Goodman or Norman Finkelstein or Scott Ritter or Matt Taibbi or Glenn Greenwald or Naomi Wolf or any of them from the radical left, when they came out as anti-Zionists, which all of them did, people just believed it. Nobody Googled what they were saying. There was no Google. You didn't go to the library and check up on Norman Finkelstein as he railed against Israel. Here's a guy whose both of his parents lived in a Warsaw ghetto and then taken to death camps by the Nazis and then killed. Both of his parents were murdered by the Nazis, and he's as Jewish gets. And if you see interviews with him, he's really Jewy. And he's one of the most vicious, radical, left-wing anti-Zionists on the planet. The state of Israel has banned him from ever coming there. He's not allowed to step foot in Israel. They'll arrest him instantly as a terrorist. You don't know who he is. This guy has millions of followers. You don't know who he is. You think, well, this is just some obscure person. Hell no, he's not. There's a whole cabal, a spider-webbed cabal of radical lefties that have been pushing this issue and this fake history for the last 40 years, daily, 7 days a week. So Candace Owens, a conservative and a black woman, she's bought into this history like many of you have. I have conservative friends who've bought into this liberal lie. They think that's the history. And they say, well, in 1948, Israel was created. And bullshit, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Just stop talking. If you don't know, just stop talking. Go do the research and then talk, but just shut up. So she stepped in it, big pile of dog shit. And I think that she's rather innocent in what she was talking about. I don't think that she was trying to attack Jews. However, it wouldn't surprise me if Candace Owens is absolutely anti-Semitic. She hangs out with Kanye West. Kanye West praised Hitler. Kanye West is the definition of an anti-Semite. Fuck Kanye West. Fuck Kanye West. And Candace Owens has chose her side. And instead of doing the right thing and admitting, just being a normal person and saying, yeah, I didn't really know what I was talking about. Sorry, I guess I stepped in it. That's what I thought. I didn't know I was wrong. I guess I'm wrong. Hey, anybody can be wrong. That's why we're all here, is to correct each other. Thank you for correcting me. Now I know. Oh no, she didn't say that at all. So Ben Shapiro bops her on the head. Ben Shapiro's her boss. Ben Shapiro bopped her on the head and said, hey, what you said was not just inappropriate. It was a lie. You're spreading lies, and you work for me. You're my employee. You're on the Daily Wire. We don't allow people on the Daily Wire to spread lies. You can have your opinion. Ben Shapiro is not going to force her to be pro-Zionist, pro-Israel. But you can't get on his network and spew lies, and I very much respect that about him. So he absolutely approached her and did it in public, which I also think was a good idea. He could have done it behind closed doors, but I think it's a good idea to do it in public. Call her out. So he just yesterday said, you can quit. That was the latest response in their Twitter war over this issue. Ben Shapiro has now offered Candace Owens to quit. You can quit, Candace Owens, if this is how you feel. And I think that she should quit. Now what she'll probably do is she'll probably quit and she'll turn her channel into a tabloid channel. She'll most likely make 40 videos bashing Jews and Ben Shapiro for being greedy, money hungry. She'll go into every anti-Semitic trope to defend herself. I just hope you guys are doing all right with all of this. Thanks for watching.